the headliner, Mr. WrestleMania, but you can also add Charity Man to that list as he is involved in a WrestleMania 27 raffle. You can go over to www.theshawnmichaels.com and we'll talk all about this awesome raffle that'll get you to meet Shawn Michaels and go to WrestleMania 27 and so much more. We welcome the man himself, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Shawn, thank you so much for taking time out. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. Thank you all for having me. I appreciate you very much helping out with the WrestleMania raffle, and hopefully we'll raise some money for these great charities and give one lucky WWE fan a great experience at WrestleMania.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Ronald McDonald House Charities, Operation Homefront, and Cross Trail Outfitters are the charities you're benefiting. A winner and a guest enjoy 2 premium seats to WrestleMania 27. They get to meet you, which is a great thing. They get tickets to the Hall of Fame, where you will be inducted. The deadline is this Friday, so people really have to go and sign up at theshawnmichaels.com. And actually, a winner also receives a $2,000 allowance for travel, so you can sign up around the world.
That's awesome. Very cool.
Yeah. Well, we're trying to make it so, you don't have to come out of pocket to get there. That's not really a giveaway then, is it, if you got to pay your own way there. So, we're doing what we can to make it pretty darn easy. And I've been telling everybody, like, if I'm not your cup of tea, you can opt out of the personal meet and greet with me. You're sort of stuck with me. It's not Triple H, not John Cena. You're sort of just stuck with me for a few minutes. And
that sounds horrible, Shawn.
Listen to me. Well, you never know what you might get.
Shawn, obviously a lot of people call you Mr. WrestleMania for a variety of reasons. I mean, I'm not going to list all the memories and moments you've delivered at WrestleMania, but the one that sticks out in my mind, believe it or not, Shawn, is WrestleMania 14, specifically you climbing the top rope in insurmountable pain. I mean, the pain on your face just says it all before you deliver that elbow drop on Steve Austin. And I've always wanted to ask you, was WrestleMania 14 the most difficult day at the office for you?
Yeah. I mean, pretty much. I mean, I was not in a good place physically, obviously, but also mentally. I mean, but it was just bad all around, and it was the culmination of a lot of things, a lot of bad things, and I always like to I'd love to tell everybody like I was faking, I fooled everybody, but. No, it was a pretty rough day at the office, to say the very least. And it's funny. I guess I never. I don't know. I guess because I was in such a horrible place at that time, I guess I never really envisioned people like really grasping the fact that, like, holy cow, man, that guy. I don't care if I don't like him. That dude's beating the heck out of himself, and he's not in any shape to be doing that. I was never really sure. I mean, over time, I understand it. People now get it, but certainly when you're doing it, you don't realize, people are sort of uncomfortable watching you go through that while you're doing it.
Was there obviously when you're in front of the crowd, there's that adrenaline, but what about after the adrenaline dump? I mean, after the match, can you just paint the picture of the last day? Here you are after, going through the curtain for the last time at that time, and the pain you were experiencing with that back injury.
Well, I got to tell you, I mean, I feel like I need to tell people all the time that, I was in a lot of physical pain, but honestly, I am an emotional guy by nature. And so, honestly, the mental and emotional pain I was in far exceeded the physical at that time. I mean, honestly, the physical didn't set in until I got home. I mean, because I was just so, for lack of better words, I was really pissed off. And so, I mean, I came storming out of that match when I got back, and I was a disruption backstage, and I think I was even a disruption going to the airport the next day. You know what I mean? And I was totally ignoring the physical. I went on adrenaline for probably the next 48 hours. And then, then the realization of it being over in a lot of ways for me, settled in. And that's when the physical pain, really had the opportunity to set in, and it wasn't fun. I mean, I always felt, it's one of those things that, almost sometimes want to have a camera, when to let people understand the experience you went through, because it was miserable. Gosh, it's so depressing. But I mean, it was miserable physically and mentally, and it just was not, as they say, a dark time. And that would have been a pretty severe understatement.
So now we're heading into WrestleMania 27. It is vastly approaching. Triple H is going up against Undertaker. What is your advice for Hunter at this point?
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
But
you know what? I'll tell you, it's one I'm looking forward to, because again, those guys, they are cut from the same cloth, as are a few of us, and this is actually one match where, and it's hard to say in the WWE because we've done so much, but there's a real possibility that with the no holds barred stipulation, we're going to see something in this match that we've never seen before, and I know these two are going to put on just an amazing performance. I mean, that's certainly what I'm expecting. And I have absolutely no insight to it. I'm thrilled by that, because I get to go there like everybody else and just watch what they do. I think it really is. Again, we say epic. I mean, so many words we've used before, and I think this is going to be all of that. And I'm actually looking forward to seeing what they do. And I want to suggest both guys bring their best, but I know that's what they're going to do. And again, I really do. I think they're going to do absolutely everything they can. And like they said this last Monday, and it happens every WrestleMania, but it's certainly going to happen with these two. They are not going to come out of that ring the same guys that went in. They're going to be forever changed as a result of what they put each other through during that match.
So what's it going to do to you if Triple H is the man to break and end the streak?
I mean, that's going to be, it's one of those bittersweet things. I mean, I can't lie. He's my buddy, and you want him, to do it, but then at the same time, I can't help but to say that, if I couldn't do it, nobody's going to do it.
I'm just going to go ahead and say that I really hope that I see Sweet Chin Music in that ring at some point at WrestleMania.
Well, I tell you what, as of right now, I don't know that we're going to see that, but
or at least at the Hall of Fame. Just find someone to.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. At least at the Hall of Fame before the speech.
Well, I mean, heck, I'm going to be there. I mean, I am going to be there. I'm not missing the show. I'm going to be at Hall of Fame. I'm going to be at WrestleMania, and I don't know. I mean, and I've done it before. I've made a game time decision before that nobody else agreed upon, and just ran out there and did stuff I wasn't supposed to do. So who knows? I might do it again, but I'd get in a lot of trouble.
Shawn, one other question I want to ask you. You fall in an elite list of people who've actually wrestled Vince McMahon, let alone at a WrestleMania. And I want to ask this from a boss standpoint. I mean, Vince McMahon obviously is your boss. He's the guy who wrote the checks. But preparing for that match at WrestleMania 22 in Chicago, I mean, was it weird knowing that you're going to have to go in there and perform against your boss? And is it different than preparing to wrestle against a peer?
Well, I'll tell you, one of the things that I really enjoyed about that match is that I didn't feel the pressure in that WrestleMania that I felt in absolutely every other one. Because that one wasn't so much as a, hey, Shawn Michaels has got to be Mr. WrestleMania and steal the show, simply because you're in there with Vince McMahon, and I don't think, I don't know that people expect a phenomenal wrestling match per se. And so, I mean, just from a pressure standpoint, that being off my shoulders allowed me just to really enjoy the fact that you're out there with your boss, and I mean, you get to beat the heck out of him. And that's not everybody gets that opportunity, and the guy's nuts. I mean, and you honestly, in all reality, get to literally beat the tar out of it. And that's a pretty rewarding feeling.
Rewarding, wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, I always look back on that WrestleMania as one of my more enjoyable WrestleManias. And it's not to say I didn't enjoy the other ones, but there's so much anxiety, so much stress, so much pressure on delivering. And for whatever reason, I didn't feel like I had it in that one, from a pure wrestling standpoint. And again, I'm not sure if, everybody understands what I'm saying by that, but there was just a burden that I didn't feel going into that match that I felt in every other match. And again, it turned out to be one of, if not the best match on the show, which I think, is a testament to, obviously Vince McMahon and myself and the whole company, because he is not the greatest, he's not the most agile athlete you've ever been around.
All right, let's get into our Twitter questions. Today I went to Twitter to ask people what they wanted to pose a question to you. This was the best one I got today from Jamie Uyama. What was bigger for your career, throwing Marty Jannetty through the window or forming DX with Triple H?
Ooh, I'd have to say, from a total career standpoint, I'd have to say Marty in the barbershop.
Nice.
Because that was really the one, that obviously sent me out on my own, and everything sort of went from there. DX was obviously huge, certainly for the time and the culture, and certainly from, merchandise, things of that nature. But from an overall career standpoint, for me personally, I think easily Marty through the barbershop window.
Nice. Now I've got rapid fire questions for you. 1-word answers. Here we go. Favorite 80s TV show?
80s. Oh my goodness. I was still in high school. I don't know, probably Family Ties.
Nice.
Last concert you went to?
Casting Crowns.
Who looks better in Wranglers, you or Brett Favre?
Me.
What'd you have for breakfast?
Eggs and bacon.
Last person you sent a text message to?
Who was it? Oh, my buddy Roger. We're going fishing tomorrow.
Nice. And Charlie Sheen has the hashtag winning and the hashtag Tiger Blood. What would your hashtag be on Twitter?
I don't even know what it is. I'm so out of the loop culturally. I don't know. All I know is that Charlie Sheen got in trouble, and he's not doing that show anymore. But I've never seen the show, and I don't know what the
Charlie Sheen is a disaster.
Well, like I said, and that's all I'm really aware of. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know anything else.
Maybe it's better that you don't, Shawn.
Well, I think that your hashtag should probably be either Sweet Chin Music or Sexy Boy. I would think. Maybe you think.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I don't know. Is that like your?
It's trending topics.
Yeah, it's like your saying, I mean, you could make it Mr. WrestleMania or Heartbreak Kid or something like that.
Okay, that's what I'd say. I guess mine would probably be Mr. WrestleMania or the Showstopper.
In that case, we look forward to seeing that in a future tweet of yours. One more time, we direct people to www.theshawnmichaels.com. The WrestleMania 27 raffle. And guess what, guys? Tickets are only $2 each. You buy a minimum of 5. You get entered into the draw. The drawing date is on Friday, and the maximum amount of time you can buy a ticket is Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. One more time, you get 2 premium seats to WrestleMania 27. You get to go to the Hall of Fame. You get to meet the Heartbreak Kid, which is a priceless value. I mean, how many people can say in their lives that they got a chance to meet Shawn Michaels and hang out with him at WrestleMania? You get $2,000 allowance for travel and other expenses, and you get a 3-night hotel accommodation at the Atlanta Marriott Marquis, and so much more. Shawn, we very much appreciate you taking time out for us. And, well, if it is all over for the Heartbreak Kid in the ring, then we have to say it was a fantastic career, and I've personally had a great time following your career, Shawn.
Well, thank you. I enjoyed doing it, and again, thank you so much for the time. Thank you for the help with the charities, and And honestly, thank you for the kind words. It's very nice.